Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Cooking with Gloria. Today, I want to share with you a very delicious spinach masa for your delicious tamales. This masa comes out delicious, amazing, and perfect every time. But first things first, my apron is on, my hands are clean, and I am ready to show you my ingredients. My ingredients. I have salt, baking powder, spinach, lard, Maseca for tamales, chicken broth, and this is everything we need to prepare this delicious spinach masa for your delicious tamales made at home. I want to show you the type of masas I use here in my home. I have a totally different idea. They come out amazing and perfect and delicious every time. And I hope, my friends, you give it a try. You make it for the holidays. And I am sure that you're going to continue cooking with Gloria. So let's get started. I want to show you what I'm going to use. I'm using my stand mixer, but of course, if you don't have one, you could do it by hand. I'm going to add my lard in here. I'm going to cream it very good for about 5 to 6 minutes. You want to make sure that the lard is really incorporated and nice and fluffy. Don't forget to clean the sides of the bowl, even the bottom, because sometimes the lard will stick way on the bottom of the bowl, and you want to make sure that the lard is really incorporated. Look at this. It's gonna get nice and fluffy. While this is getting nice and fluffy, well, let me show you how I'm gonna prepare the maseca. I have the maseca for tamales, and I am going to add it to this bowl. And here I am going to add the baking powder, and I'm going to add the salt. You want to make sure that you add it on a separate bowl so that the baking powder and the salt really incorporate into the maseca. Just like that, let's incorporate everything. It really doesn't take too long, just a couple minutes. Once this is done, now we are ready to add it to the lard, which is nice and creamy, really fluffy. And let me tell you, this spinach masa for your tamales comes out really delicious, really amazing. I know that once you guys try this spinach masa for your tamales, you are going to continue making them at home, enjoying them for the holidays or even throughout the year. I know you guys are going to love this recipe. Once this is nice and incorporated, I'm going to start adding the chicken broth slowly. You don't want to add all the chicken broth at one time. You want to make sure that you scrape everything all the way to the bottom, all the sides, making sure that the maseca is really incorporated. We're going to continue mixing, and then I'm going to continue adding the chicken broth. Remember, don't add the chicken broth all at once, or else it's going to be really hard to incorporate into the dough. I'm going to mix it for at least 30 minutes. Once this is done, well, let's make the test. You already know me. If you follow me, you know that I love making the test of the glass with water and adding this teaspoon of masa in there. When you drop the teaspoon of masa in there and it floats all the way to the top, that means that your masa is ready to make those delicious tamales at home. Look at this. It needs to float all the way to the top. If it sinks, that means that you need to continue mixing for at least 15 more minutes. But this masa is ready. Now that the masa is ready, I am going to transfer it to this big bowl. And I'm gonna continue with the spinach. Let's let the masa rest for a little bit while we get our spinach ready. It's really soft, really pliable, and I have the spinach right here. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse it completely through running water, and you know that part is really important. You wanna make sure that the spinach is really clean when you add it to the masa. Once this is done, I'm just gonna cut the edges. These edges I'm not going to use. I'm just gonna save it and put it on my garden. And now I am ready to start dicing all the spinach. You want to make sure that you dice it in very little, tiny little pieces. You want the spinach to incorporate into the masa perfectly. Look at this. The more you chop it, the better it's going to be. You're going to see all those little pieces throughout the masa. And this is exactly how you're going to do it. I'm going to go ahead. Remember that the masa has been resting. And now with my hands nice and clean, I'm going to start incorporating all the spinach a little bit at a time. And believe me, it's going to look amazing. And it's going to taste just delicious. Once everything is incorporated, let me show you how soft, how spongy, how it looks. This is how your masa should look to make those delicious and amazing tamales at home. The filling, what you decide, what filling you want to add. I'll see you in a bit. I'm ready for the presentation. Completely done with this delicious spinach masa for tamales. Look at this. You could see all the little specks of the spinach all over the masa. This masa comes out delicious, amazing, and perfect every time. I am sure that you guys are going to love this recipe. Look at this. My family really loved this masa. I hope, my friends, you give it a try. You make your delicious tamales with this recipe. I know you're going to fall in love with it. If you liked and loved my recipe, I invite you to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, share this video on social media with your friends, with your relatives, so Cooking with Gloria keeps growing. Don't forget to push that notification bell. And if you did, leave it activated, so every time I make a delicious recipe like I did today, yes, you're going to be notified. Before I say I see you soon, I wish you nothing but the best. Peace and love. I love you guys. Thank you for being here, watching my video from start to end. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys. Take care and happy holidays. Like, subscribe, and share. See you soon. Bye-bye.